Thank you, Art, and Ezra and Abe, too, for your leadership. It's wonderful to be back with all of you here today. I think it's incredibly important that we take the time that we do to honor and remember the 6 million Jews and the countless others who were murdered during the Holocaust. And as Senator Cardin said, to say emphatically, never again. I don't think that's been underscored for America in quite the same way as the tragedy that happened last year on October the 7th. We saw something that I've never dreamed. The deadliest day for Jews in the world since the Holocaust occurred October the 7th, with Hamas terrorists coming in and slaughtering Jews. I think we all watched with horror at what happened, and I think we've been horrified yet again with what followed. We've seen what's happened on college campuses and in our cities. I find it totally intolerable that you've got folks stepping forward, arguing perhaps the acts of Hamas terror were even justified on October the 7th. That's not the America that I think we want to see. And that's something that we need to stand up for, as we've seen Jewish students fear for their lives trapped in buildings with protesters outside. We've seen synagogues and Jewish schools threatened with vile anti-Semitism. And what this has brought back home to me is that anti-Semitism isn't dead. As much as we might have hoped, as much comfort as we might have taken, believing that things were different, we've seen the vileness of anti-Semitism reemerge in ways that I could have never imagined. That's why I think it's absolutely important that we use our voices here in the United States Senate. I want to congratulate my friend and colleague, Mike Brown. As you could tell, Senator Cardin and I work closely together. But here in the United States Senate, we want to use our voices and we want to stand strong in this regard. And I will continue to do everything that I can to combat anti-Semitism and to stand arm in arm with the Jewish people. The bill that we're here to discuss today honors those who stood strong to deal with the vile cancer that is anti-Semitism. Confronted with unimaginable darkness, a small number of diplomats serving around the world put their careers, yes, even their lives at risk to stand up and save innocent Jews. And by their individual acts of bravery, these diplomats saved the lives of so many. One of them I'd like to highlight is Mr. Sempo Sugihara, the first Japanese diplomat sent to Lithuania. Sugihara's son took on amazing risk to provide transit visas for some 1,800 Jews who were escaping Nazi Germany. Sugihara was recognized in Japan. I had the great opportunity and the great honor when I was serving as U.S. ambassador to Japan to get to know his story, to get to participate in ceremonies recognizing him and his contribution. And because of Sugihara-san's bravery, he was recognized by the state of Israel as righteous among nations for his aid to Jewish refugees in Lithuania during World War II. So, as ambassador to Japan, I was privileged to meet his family. I was privileged to present an award to his family, honoring his bravery and accomplishments and saving the lives of so many. Let's turn now to talk about the legislation we're here to highlight today. That's Senate Bill S-91. As context, the courageous stories of diplomats like Sugihara have often gone unrecognized. And we must do what we can to ensure that their memories live on and that their inspiring stories are enshrined in that dark chapter of our world's history, which is why I hope we're going to be able to swiftly pass the Forgotten Heroes of the Holocaust Congressional Gold Medal Act. As mentioned, it was a bill that I introduced with Senator Tim Kaine. And as we navigate another era where anti-Semitism again is rearing its head, the diplomats of today and future generations, and everyone else who hears their stories, can be inspired by the heroism, the sacrifice, and the staunch resolve of these diplomats that we hope to honor through this legislation. The United States needs to continue to do this, to stand up against anti-Semitism around the world, and to continue to honor those who have stood with the Jewish community. May God bless you all.